here in the green room and I'm joined by Steve. Hi Steve, so what is it you do?
So I work in wireless communications. So as I talk about in the set, this overlaps with physics, maths, computer science and engineering, although I've personally come from an engineering background.
So when you say wireless communications, is that the sort of thing that we use on our mobile phones?
Yeah, exactly right. So what I look at is the propagation of radio waves, so the way radio waves actually travel. Being cynical, the amount of money in these sort of companies means that even if you've got a small problem to solve, to probably be funded, which is what keeps us going, I suppose.
So would that be to maybe improve signal on mobile phones and prevent black spots and that sort of thing?
Yeah, exactly right. So basically the classic example I say, you get your phone out and you look at the number of bars, and basically there's various techniques if you understand what's going on to get you up to 5 bars all the time.
So what made you decide to try stand-up comedy?
I've never talked about my work outside of a strictly sort of research academic work environment, so it'd be quite interesting to bring it to a new audience.
So, good evening, guys. Everyone enjoying the Science Festival? So these sort of science festivals, they seem to work particularly well in a place like Cambridge. I mean, we have academic thought, science. It infiltrates every aspect of life. Just the other day, I overheard a sort of lovesick young teenager describing himself as the hypotenuse of a love triangle. So I am a scientist, and I'm just starting out, so trying to work out what goes on. And as far as I can see, this is what happens. There's two types of scientists. There's theorists and there's experimentalists. And basically, the theorists come up with an idea, then the experimentalists spend years of painstaking effort trying to uncover evidence. I can hear an experimentalist laughing already. This is a bonus laugh. I should put that one down. So the experimentalist really slaves away several years later, and finally they find what they've been looking for, and then the theorist gets a Nobel Prize. So no prizes for guessing which type I'm going to be. So I say I'm a scientist. I actually work in the computer laboratory, so I'm surrounded by people who really like technology. Now, technology, for me, isn't something I'm that keen on. Twitter, proponents of Twitter, they go over the top on this. They say, for the first time, it's brought together people from all walks of life who'd otherwise have nothing in common. That's simply not true. That accolade belongs to dogging. So, you know, people who know me well aren't surprised by my distrust of technology. They know I was brought up in a small West Country village near Weston-super-Mare, a very rustic upbringing, and they knew that for me, peer-to-peer meant a holiday in Brighton. Actually, people who don't know me well also aren't surprised that I don't like technology, but that's usually because they assume I'm Amish. That actually happened once, actually. But, so I work in wireless communications, as I was nearly part of the introduction, and what this basically means is I overlap with 4 fields: maths, physics, computer science and engineering. Now, to the uninitiated, these probably sound quite similar, but nothing could be further from the truth, as I shall now demonstrate through a time-honoured analogy of a man walking into a bar. So, an engineer walks into a bar, orders an ice-cold beer, gets his thermometer out, checks it's 0 degrees C to within a tolerance, happily drinks the pint. Physicist walks into the bar, orders a beer at 273 Kelvin. When the barman doesn't understand, he rants about arbitrarily defined scales. A computer scientist walks into a bar, says nothing, hands the barman a crumpled piece of paper with just the characters 1, 0, pints written on it. He doesn't understand where he gets 10 pints. I think we've seen that one on a few t-shirts, actually. And finally, the mathematician doesn't walk into the bar because he's already shown he can do it and has no interest in doing so again. And with that groan, I'm going to leave you. Thank you very much, guys.